It is. Hi everybody, welcome. Welcome. Tam was just, is this on? This is a really short video about what queries or questions you might have and things you might need to consider when commissioning or buying a gravestone or memorial plaque. People often say we don't. I mean, obviously, a lot of people just haven't done this before, and it's a bit of a mystery. So hopefully, this will be a bit helpful. So, information that you'll need to consider and take along, which will be really helpful for initially for the memorial mason or the letter cutter, would be where the memorial is going. What location, what graveyard or cemetery it's going in, whether it's a burial or interred ashes, dates, name of the people, full name of the person who has died or the people who have died, and whether there's a space for an addition, whether you can consider whether somebody else is going on the memorial later, so leaving a space for them. And from your own point of view, whether you might think about any meaningful inscription you'd like to add that speaks of the life, that commemorates and celebrates the life of the person or people who have died, or any carving that you might like on it. So, any supporting material, so any pictures that you'd like, or coat of arms, or, some people have quite grand, complicated carvings on there. And some people have very, very simple. We had somebody with just some notes, some stylized notes, because the person was a musician, which was really beautiful. It's just very, very simple. So it can be kind of very grand, very simple, but that kind of is. So there's that. And then from your point of view, it's worth asking the memorial mason up front how much it's going to cost, what deposit you need to put down, and when, and what stage payments, what their terms and conditions are. It's worth being really clear about that. Asking about that if they're not, and sometimes that's not as a tricky conversation maybe, but it's worth being clear about that. Costs of permissions. So you always need permissions from the incumbent, from the parish or the cemetery, and they have rules, and where it is will depend on the rules and regulations, which the memorial mason or the letter cutter will know or be able to find out relatively easily. And in fact, you can find this out if you want to dig around, but we offer that as a part of the kind of service, and most memorial masons do that. I'm looking at my instructions. So fixing whether permissions is a part of the costing, whether fixing is a part of the costing, so whether installation, so whether putting the memorial in. And you will also maybe it might be worth inquiring about what kind of memorial it is. I know that sounds like a weird kind of question, but there are different ways of fixing memorials. So there's something called a law memorial, which is a kind of on a plinth, and it's usually a smaller memorial, or a traditional fixed memorial where you have kind of like a memorial in the ground, so it's fixed by putting one piece of stone and some of that's a foundation in the ground. So if you're interested, but it does affect how the memorial looks at the end, so it's maybe worth finding out. Timing, how long these things take. Sometimes these things, it takes 6 weeks to get materials from order dependent, so it's worth asking how long it might take. And also, you might find out if it's a sandblasted letter, or if it's a machine sandblasted letter, or or a hand-carved, hand-cut letter. And often, as a rule of thumb, sandblasted letters, or are less expensive than a hand-carved, hand-drawn letter. But if you find yourself kind of like being told that sandblasted is you can, if you compare those, it's not comparing like for like, so it's worth kind of finding out about that. So you might get charged quite a lot of money for something. You could get a hand done something for the same price, but usually sandblasted machine or machine cut letter is less expensive, and if done well, can be really beautiful. It's not an inferior product. It's just quicker to do. Whereas like hand drawn, hand carved has that added kind of craft aspect to it. So and the other thing to ask, and this is affected by where the memorial's going, what kind of material, what kind of stone. So there's a lot of graveyards will specify a local natural material, so a local stone, so which is usually kind of Portland or Portland or York or slate or one of those. However, there are other stones that are used, like granites and marbles, that are permissible, and it depends on what you like the look of. We don't do a lot of granite. I'm bashing the mic. We don't do a lot of granite. We're not tooled up for it, especially kind of shiny granite. We're carving a nice granite plaque at the moment, but it's not that kind of shiny kind of like big expanses of black stuff. And we're not tooled up for that, so we do mainly limestones or slates or sandstones from the Midlands. Anything else I've missed? I don't think so. I think that's everything. If you have, really importantly, if you have any queries or questions that I haven't thought to answer here, please ask in the chat, in the thing below, and kind of like and subscribe, I suppose you could say. I'm reticent to say that. Tam's killing herself. Yeah, have a nice day. All the best.